Hello everyone, welcome back to Advanced Weekly Update. It's Monday at 1 o'clock and you are right on time. And this is Archie with us. Hi Archie.
Everyone.
Archie works in our IT department. She heads up our IT department actually. And it's perfect because today, Archie, we're talking about how AI will change the world of copywriting.
没错 ，AI 真的开始要改变这个世界。
Archie, are you afraid that AI will take over your job one day?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
对，其实我了解越多，其实更害怕。
Yeah, it is a little scary for some people. I think for a lot of us, Archie, we hear about this, but we just go back to our work and don't think too much about it. But Archie, you work in IT, so you probably know some things about AI, right?
对，其实 AI 它取代的东西已经开始不是只有 routine 的事情。之前我们好像有看到一些送餐机器人啊，或者是一些比较简单的机器人，但现在的 AI 已经可以做越来越多的事情。
And AI can really help us in a lot of ways to do our work, right? But some people are afraid that it might actually go too far and take over our jobs.
对，像我现在为什么坐在这里？因为我取代了 David Moulton 的工作，他现在才来。
Exactly. So Archie just kind of took over David's job. And that's what AI could do for us, right?
AI can do for us.
David is just back from his honeymoon. Well, not just back, but I mean, it's the first time you've been back here on the air for Advanced Weekly Update. So welcome back, David.
Wonderful to be back. Sorry about that, everybody.
And thank you, Archie, for helping us know more about AI with your job. So, David, we're talking about the world of copywriting, though, specifically. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's one of the biggest questions when it comes to AI and work and what will happen with the future of AI is, will AI ever be able to do creative work? Right? Like, it's one thing for in manufacturing if AI can help you produce cars or run a conveyor belt to make objects, but can AI create music? Can AI write an article for a magazine?
We had that article. Speaking of articles about AI, and you can go and fill out this prompt or get this prompt. It will help you with your writing. I thought it was really amazing, actually.
Yeah.
It takes what you write and it turns it into something more creative.
Yeah, I've used it before, actually. And even with music, there's also a program that helps you create music. It's this thing that it studies all the music that's on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, and that kind of generates chord progressions that it thinks can help you make a hit song.
And I hope it's not copying someone's song. Obviously, it's merging them all together.
Merging them together, yeah.
All right, so let's get to our poll of the week. We want to give you enough time to take this poll. Maybe you're just starting to watch or you'll tune in a moment or whatever it is. But our poll of the week is, which industry do you think would most benefit from AI? And we have a few choices there, okay? We're talking about business, education, health, or you can click the other if you're thinking of another field beyond those. Of course, it can span a whole bunch of fields. Okay, so are you concerned about this, or excuse me, which industry do you think would most benefit from AI? So this is more positive than we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. I think that typically the reflex when it comes to AI and work is to think, oh no, the robots are going to steal our jobs, which could happen for some industries, and there are some people who could be affected in that way. But I think that there are other ways where using the power of AI could actually create a lot of benefits. Which one of those industries do you think would benefit from AI, Brandon?
Well, I think, of course, they could all benefit. I'm thinking of business. That's really broad, right? And so lots of businesses could benefit from AI, and some, of course, already are. We talk about robots in warehouses, and that sort of thing is understandable. We've had sort of machines helping us in warehouses and things like that, I guess, for a while on some level. But I think business as a whole, machines can help us a lot. I mean, even think about this isn't, I guess, really AI, but just computers, of course, in general, how they've become more sophisticated, and that helps us with running a business, for example.
That's right.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think I see a couple people have written in, and so that education is a field that would benefit. I definitely think that. I think that in the medical field, there's already been evidence of how AI is really helpful But I think when I think about like learning languages and other things that people do in schools, like learning mathematics, learning English, I think that there are ways that AI could be used to kind of improve some of the methods that we use to teach, even just with like creating little apps that can help kids learn faster and have more fun with learning, and just even the kind of the explosion of spaced repetition and how that was used in language learning. That's all a result of AI.
Absolutely, and so education, of course, could be affected as well in the health industry. Well, there's so many advances that we see in that industry, and we welcome them all, right?
That's right.
The health industry, we want to stay healthy.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our first article this week. Will AI change the world of copywriting?
That's right.
And we want to bring up our question of the week as well. You can go ahead and respond right now there in the live comment box, or you can respond later, of course, as well if you're watching this later. But our question of the week is, are you concerned that robots will take over your job? A question that we have been posing to ourselves here, but what about you? Are you concerned about this with your particular job?
That's right. Are you concerned about this with your particular job, Brandon?
Sometimes I wish a robot would come and take over some things, honestly. Okay, so we do a lot of detailed things, and I would welcome a robot to come and do some of those things, but the creative component I feel like is really hard for robots to do, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And so at that part, I hope that they don't take over, because I think we always need that human touch.
Yeah, and I think that humans will always be a part of the process, right? Even if they do have robots that are doing a lot of writing and a lot of creating, in the end, I believe there will still be a person that goes and sort of does quality checks.
We'll be in the control room. Right?
Yeah. Hopefully, if we totally give it all over to the machine, then I think that we're probably in trouble.
iRobot, here we go.
iRobot, here we come. Terminator.
All right, so if that's enough technology for you, that's okay, because tomorrow, or excuse me, the next day after tomorrow, the 13th, we're talking about learning to draw the good out of people. This is a nice kind of feel-good article. It's meaningful because, oftentimes, I don't know about you guys, but you meet someone and are you thinking about how to draw the good out of them, or not necessarily you've met someone for the first time, but like you just know someone in your office, for example, and sometimes we fixate on the negative things and we forget to stop and say, hey, this is a human being made in the image of God, and let me try to draw the good out of them. How do you do that, though?
I think it's different for everybody. You sort of have to play to your strengths. Like, for example, some people aren't very good at small talk. They don't know how to engage someone in a simple conversation. But maybe you can find some other way to draw the good out of someone. Maybe if you have a chance to work with that person, then you can tell them good job. You can give them some encouragement. Maybe you can take them out to lunch, or go out with some other people that are taking that person out to lunch and get to know them a little bit better. And from that knowledge that you get, then you might know a little bit more about how to bless them, what their needs are.
Yeah.
I just think that like getting to know someone more is a great way to start on that path.
So here's a challenge for this week. Get to know someone that maybe you don't naturally connect with. Maybe go to lunch with them, because I think we all can like connect with people who are more like us, right? And that's natural, but sometimes we need to go beyond that and reach out to people. And we get to learn something new, right? A new way of connecting with someone, or learn something new about that person. And so that's a challenge for all of us this week.
Yeah, and that's not an easy thing. That's not an easy thing to do, because when you're getting to know someone who maybe is not that much like you, or they're different from you in maybe some big ways, that also opens you up to some ways that maybe, that person could hurt me. That person could misunderstand me.
Yeah.
But that's, it's a good process. It can help you to grow. It can help that person to grow. And if we all just stayed in our little bubbles, then no one would ever get anywhere, right?
That's right. We would all look the same, and that would be boring, right?
That would be boring.
I tell you what's not boring is, hey, we're matching. Did you guys notice that?
I noticed that as soon as we got on.
We did not plan that?
We did not.
I don't know. It's the advanced team, like,
it's the more cheap.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this week's Advanced Weekly Update, and we'll be here next Monday at 1:00.
Same time, same place.
Bye.
See you guys later.
See you.